Hi guys, welcome back. So today's video I'm going to show you how I got this 5R trade on Euro USD. It had no drawdown. Luckily enough, most trades do get some drawdown, but this one was straight up, and I'll after the intro I'll show you how I entered. Hi guys, welcome back to the Rule of 7 trading. So today, let me jump on this chart down here. I'm going to show you why. Well, sorry, not why. Well, why I entered and how I got this 5R trade. So we'll just jump out of that one and we'll start from the beginning. So this is the weekly. And obviously we've now weekly swing range. We're actually in the discount area and we've tapped a lot of supply. So overall, I wanted to start selling. But I'll tell you why I've seen this opportunity. Let's get rid of that one. Opportunity to buy. So we've got a nice area to buy. So weekly sells, but obviously you can be waiting 3, 4, 5 weeks for it to drop where you want. So that's weekly. Let's get to, then we've got the daily. So let's get this bigger. Right, so then guys. So we're making higher highs. Let me higher high, and obviously up there. There it is. So we've got high, low, high, low, high, low. You all know that. We've got another high, low here that actually broke this area there. So what I was interested is this particular area. What broke this recent, ignore that because of the magnets on. What broke that recent area? So to find out, we need to drop down to the 4 hour. And obviously, I'm kind of hoping this goes something like this, taps around there, and then starts to sink and make new lows. So obviously, ignore the mess of the charts. So the 4 hour, let's get off of that as well. So the 4 hour, guys, so top right, this is the area. That's the last, when I can get it, that's the last break of structure on the daily. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. About 10 days worth of data that's then shot through this area. So I was interested for a little buy. So if we transfer this line here, we sync it. So yeah, let me make it darker because we cannot see that. Let's go. Right, so this dotted line, guys, this is a 4 hour. So let's join. I've not took every line over because it gets very confusing then. So here's the daily break. So you look straight away, what caused the daily break? The last area that I was interested is this zone here. So from the top to the bottom there, put that all the way across. We did make, by the looks of it, not lower lows, sorry, equal lows. So just bear that in mind for the future, that them equal lows won't hold. Like there's money underneath here. That effectively you've got a lot of people, a lot of retail that have bought at both of them positions. So you've got a double bottom there. So be careful with that for future. But for this instance, I was interested in this. So let's drop down again and we'll go to the 15 minute and it'll all come to light a bit. I've got a lot going on the 15 minutes, so bear with me. So I wonder if it will let me replay mode while I'm on here. Right, firstly, guys, ignore me waffling. I just like to waffle. This is a demand area. Let's sync that across. So you can see the trade actually reacted from there, but we'll jump down back on the 15 minute. Let's make it big screen. Let's see if I can replay it. I wonder if I could replay it. Oh, it's letting me. Right. So guys, so this whole demand zone here is off the 4 hour. So ideally, we want to find out the smallest part that hasn't been mitigated on this. And straight away, a lot of you will say, and you're right to say, this is the last 15-minute candle that actually hasn't been mitigated, because you can see right here, right here, we have got some, oh, I haven't got it. Basically, we've got imbalance. This should have an arrow on it, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, so this wick hasn't penetrated into this candle. So this area here is imbalance. So that's the extreme. This is the extreme demand. So we then come back to where we were, and we tap near it. So we're causing more liquidity underneath. There's more money that people are thinking, especially with a wick size. But we did break this, but we only tapped in. So let me make this clearer for you guys. So this area is supply, a 15-minute supply zone. A lot of people would have bought here thinking it was going to go skyrocketing. But instead of thinking that this area here was being inducement, which if you don't know what inducement is, it's basically early sellers, which is money, which is liquidity just sat there. So that's inducement. So what we did was we then also got inducement formed here, and the market's manipulated, guys. Like, don't either learn to liquidate everyone else or be liquidated yourself. So two parts of inducement. So early buyers here, early sellers were here. So we actually bought. We took their money off them. We tapped in to the not to the higher time frame, but to the last supply block that actually broke structure. So that's a sell breaker structure there, and we broke it mainly with this candle because that was the last one that's unmitigated. Look, the wick hasn't penetrated it. So yeah, we got early buyers here. They only got so far. Some of them might took profit, but then it tapped into that, and then it shot straight past them. Then it came in and forming almost equal lows. So I was a bit worried. But either way, we dropped down to the 1 minute. So as soon as it came into 15 minute, we dropped down to the 1 minute. And I was actually tempted to get in earlier, but I like a little bit more confirmation because I do rush sometimes. So what we've got, guys, is let's talk structure. So the 1 minute swing at the minute is there. So that is a sell break of structure. And what broke that sell? What was the last supply area that broke that sell? The one that I've actually got marked on. So, and what you can see, this is where it gets interesting, guys. In fact, let me go big again. Not too big, but yeah. So we reacted from this supply area, which made me look out for a flip zone. So if you get a reaction from a supply and then it breaks that supply, you know that you have a flip area, a flip zone. So we tapped in to this supply area. We haven't broke it yet, so I wasn't overly interested, but I was still watching it. We then tapped back into this lovely demand area on the 1 minute, tapped perfectly. Then we actually liquidated that high, and let's have a look. I'm not sure if we did. See, we created equal highs on the supply area. So then I was getting more and more interested because we're actually starting to break minor structure here, and we'd created a double top on the 1 minute from these sub sell. So demand mitigated. All these demand areas have been mitigated. I don't want to confuse you and get green. So this one had been mitigated by a tiny, but either way, that was still a mitigation. So the only issue that could happen here, guys, is you could get a liquidity. Well, there is liquidity here, so that could potentially drop down here and then shoot up. It could have looked something like this and then carried on going. But price action speaks loudest to me. So we tapped that. So we then broke the overall minor structure. And then again, we kept breaking structure from this point in. So my next point of interest was this area here, which is the last sell to buy area. So if we sweep that all the way across, let's drop demand on it. So that was my point of interest, and I was hoping it would come down here by 10 to 10 thereabouts. I wasn't in a rush necessarily. I just like to get in and out. So then we actually broke the major structure. I say the major. This is only the 1 minute, guys. It's like the big minor structure. So then we had a buy boss there of the actual swing. This is the 1 minute swing buy boss, which is very important. So I had two areas that I was looking at here. Obviously, I had the demand here that we've got. So between this wick and this wick, we've got imbalance. So I was a bit worried about that, and we might even get that later on. But your other area is this zone here. And it's this zone because this is an indecision candle before the actual break, before two breaks. So that caused this break, and then it further led on to break this area here. So we can play price out a bit. So we had two areas to look for entries. So when I can find out, let's go 1 speed and see what's happening there. Right, so we're coming down a little bit, guys, and you can see we do start respecting the sell areas. So this is a little sell area, this is a supply zone, and we then broke this demand area as well by the wick. So potentially we're looking for it to slowly pull back. So let's see what happens. So firstly, we tap into this first demand area. This isn't the extreme, and obviously we've still got imbalance below here, so I was a bit iffy, but either way you need to see if it breaks structure. So this is the last supply area that has been set up by Smart Money. I can't get this big screen, can I? I think we're on big screen. Anyway, guys, so let's do the next couple of candles, see what happens. So we tap into supply. Let's see, we've not broke supply yet. So we've tapped down. We've created a bit of an equal low there. We've still not broke it just yet. Right, we've tapped in. So that to me, we've actually liquidated this point here. So we need to see what happens next. Right, so yeah, it was at this point that I actually entered, because we entered in this area here. This is the demand zone. So when I can label it up for you. So yeah, so basically we didn't break the supply, and I know I was saying about breaking the supply, but I'm a bit of a FOMO trader. But we did liquidate these highs. So, and we actually respected this low already. So this wick, because we're on the smaller time frame, you need to kind of take the wick more than anything. So we actually respected this demand zone to then break this minor structure. So, and as you can see, I covered the extreme just in case my FOMO was wrong. So either way, and it was a 7 pip stop loss, and I had a 5R on it, and then we'll see what happens. Let's just play free. So we actually did tap deeper. We tapped past this wick here, where my cursor is in line. We actually took some liquidity from that, and then we started breaking structure. So let's see if there's any points that we could have got a second entry. I didn't get a second entry, guys. I'm not going to bullshit you and say I've got 20 different entries. I just had the one entry on this one, because it was 10 o'clock, and I'm normally kind of done for 10 really. So I wanted to kind of put it on and almost try and forget about it, as hard as it is. So we got a break there. So let's have a look, see if we reacted to any zones. We reacted to this area here. So let's see if we break that structure, because I don't believe we're going to come back down to this area. Well, we'll set it on. Let's that one's been mitigated. That's my entry demand zone. Let's see what happens here. Right, so we did actually wick past this. So the area that broke the structure there is this whole area mainly. This is the main area that broke that minor structure. So say for instance, we put a second entry on there and we covered this area as well, which is the new extreme. Say we had, perfect, we have another 7 pip stop loss again, let's say, and we want a, well, we're slightly in, so it would be a 4 reward because of the area, not a 4, sorry. Oh, where's my maths gone now? Right, 280. But potentially you've got 9R sat in play. I'll leave this one smaller, guys, because this isn't my entry. This first one is my real entry. So let's play price out and see what happens. So we've kept in. Right, now let's jump out a bit. And by the looks of the screen, you should know what happens, but yeah. So finally, by about an hour and a half after entering, thereabouts, an hour and 45 minutes after entering, we actually get the 5R, which I took home for myself. And I could have done a second entry looking at it now of where I could have entered. We could have got another 4R on that. And I was aiming to just take this high, really. And I like to round my numbers up, so I was aiming to take that high. So let's have a look what this looks like on the 15-minute. So it's a bit cleaner for you guys, yeah. So, and here's another one I got later on with New York Open. So I'll show you that on the 1 minute. I won't go through that one just yet, guys. But you can see price taps into the supply, actually breaks the supply zone. And then I believe we had news. So right about here, guys, I actually said on my Instagram, so it was around this point here. I mean, I know it's not an arrow, but around that point, I said on my Instagram that I was expecting it to go take the highs out and then sink. So, and as you can see, it did actually end up doing that. But you asked me why I went for a buy. I went for a buy because on higher time frame there was a lot more imbalance above, so I wasn't expecting it to sink just yet a lot. I thought it would sink to make retail think it was selling, sorry, and then I actually got in for a great buy, and I'll just play that out for you. So we made lower lows, lower highs, and then we started forming supply, demand, and then we actually flew back up, and I just wanted a little 2R trade on that. But anyway, this video is not about that trade. This is about the beast that I got in the morning. So you could potentially, guys, just quickly, you could potentially look to aim for future. You could aim for roughly the 50% equilibrium or whatever. So and as you can see, we would have got it, and that would have been a 12R, and the other one would have been an 11R, blah blah blah. And this one I could have got a bit more. But you learn not to be too greedy, guys. In the end, I've been greedy before, and it's bit me in the arse a bit. So just take little profits a lot. That's what I'm trying to learn and teach myself. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense to you all. I'd love some questions, some comments. Like, talk to me, tell me about your trading journey as well. I'm interested, and it's nice to connect with people. Drop me a follow on Instagram at the Rule of 7, and like and subscribe this video, guys. So